Stay savage, your boy Shino Bencher. What's poppin'? Today we are back, and guess what? I did not blow yesterday. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a wrap. Don't worry about me. I probably was in a trap. No, I'm lying. I was at a funeral. That's where I was at. But today we are back, but this time we not alone. We got some more discussion videos. Your boy's been doing the collabs and shit, so it's pretty interesting that you see me double dabbing and shit. But I am with the Blood Kage himself, Young Bara B up in this bitch. What's goody?
What's goody? Bara B here. You already know.
Hey, so like I said, I am interested in the idea of doing more collabs and shit like that, because when we do this shit, we always talk about a variety of topics. So one of the major topics of today's video is, when will Kawaki meet Boruto? What is the vessel that the Kara is looking for? And a lot of other different things. So if you guys are excited, if you guys are hyped, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for daily content. Also, don't forget to check out the boy Bara B. His channel link is in the description below. He uploads Boruto reviews as well. He drops a lot of different Boruto content over on his channel, so you might as well pull up, you know what I'm saying, show out, do your thing, get some clout. I don't know, just run it up. I don't know. But with that being said, finally, let's get it.
All of these people, they down to rot. Look in my eyes. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Alright, so the first topic is, we're going to discuss the vessel that the Kara lost. So if you guys have been reading the manga, you guys know what's going on in the recent chapters of the Boruto manga and the Boruto universe. We do get the vessel that the Kara lost is somewhere in the vicinity of the Leaf Village. Obviously, Konohamaru, who has been out there, he's trying to recover this shit. Obviously, we had Ao, however the fuck you pronounce it. I always say the nigga name wrong. It's fucking 2 letters.
It's Ao, bro. Ao.
Nigga, he doesn't go who, but Ao, you know what I'm saying? Deadass, my nigga is back on his bullshit. Clearly, he got fucked up, at this point in time. If you read the manga to this point, nigga got smashed. But, essentially, we have the Kara looking for this vessel, right? One thing's for certain, we don't know shit about the vessel. It's in a black box. It literally looks like a fucking casket. Like, deadass, my nigga, like a fucking vampire just in there, up in this bitch sleep. So, like, overall, I'm just kind of curious to what the vessel is. And a few questions and speculations that run through my mind is something that I discussed with the boy Bara. We basically sat there and we discussed, like, what would this vessel be? Now, obviously, we do know Kawaki is supposed to be, like, this quote-unquote best rival for Boruto right now, or, like, Boruto's true task in the Boruto universe. And honestly, we still ain't get shit about it, right, Bar? Like, how do you feel about it?
Nah, nothing. See, the thing is, like, the vessel is something that's gonna be introduced to us obviously later on, but I feel like the writers are probably trying to keep it hidden from us for right now. But eventually, obviously, we're gonna get to see it in the future. But the Kara, they're basically hyping up to be the only thing that they're basically interested in. It's gonna be super important. It's gonna be super interesting to them. And for that, obviously, we didn't see Kawaki in the manga yet. So a lot of people have obviously been thinking like, hey, it has to be Kawaki. And since the vessel came out of a casket, it has to be a human, right? So what other human can it be than Kawaki?
That's what I'm saying. And in order to have this human like sleeping in the casket for a really, really long time, it had to be some type of genjutsu involved, or is it a synthetic human? Now, I do know there's a lot of speculation, a lot of theories about the boy Kawaki. We always talk about how he has mixed genes. Maybe he's a mixture of Naruto DNA and Sasuke DNA due to the fact of him having blonde hair, but also having like Sasuke hair at the top, which everybody's saying, but I think it's honestly just gonna be on some new style retrograde type shit. They just wanted to make him super edgelord 95 in this bitch. Because deadass at this point in time, it's like, why else would he have that kind of hair? And if it is the case, that would make sense for him being sleep this whole entire time in the motherfucking casket. And like, how the fuck does he breathe? Like, that bitch is sealed with a fucking code, you know what I'm saying? This shit like a vault. Like, deadass, they gotta press in 1 2 5 6 8 9. I'm giving out somebody's social security number right now, but deadass, they really have to push in these numbers to unlock it. One thing we saw Konohamaru Sensei pull out a jump drive ninja scroll, which I know I said jump drive, it's pronounced flash drive, nigga. Let's go back. Obviously, he pulls out a flash drive ninja scroll and just like plug that bitch in and start taking data. And I'm thinking to myself, like, when the fuck did Naruto get so high tech? But due to the fact that they went through so many links and security measures, like, they deadass had to go ahead and try to figure out how to keep this thing locked, how to keep this thing hidden. Now, clearly, this thing is really important because we see the Indakara discussing and talking about how they need to retrieve it. Even Kashin Koji appears himself, and he goes on a tirade eventually to get with the outer Kara members, basically to get them to go active and basically try to get this shit back due to it being that important. Now, one thing's for certain, you know, I spoke with Bara earlier, we talked about how like the vessels are something that we've seen that been very important in this series. Like clearly we do know like Sasuke was supposed to be the vessel for Orochimaru, so like clearly if Kawaki's this vessel or somebody else's vessel, maybe the vessel is like the pre-body to Kawaki, then Kawaki gets inside of the vessel and then pretends to befriend Boruto or some shit like that. Who knows? We don't know. We just looking at foreshadowing and what we got right now. Clearly, who is going to try to take over this vessel? Who is going to be the main user of this vessel? Like, what is the purpose of having this vessel? You know what I'm saying? It's like, how do you feel about like this vessel itself? Like, because when you hit a term vessel, Bar, it's not just like a vessel per se. It's always somebody else getting inside that bitch, because like obviously it's a vessel, it's just like a body, it's just it's a moving shell or some shit like that. It's an outer rim. So who do you think will spiritually or jutsuly get inside this bitch and control it? Like, is it somebody from the main branch of the Kara? Would it be like their leader? Would it be Kashin Koji? Like, who is going to be the controller of this?
All right, see, the thing is, a lot of people have not been talking about this guy because we haven't really seen him in the manga in a long time. And obviously, the leader of the Kata right now is this guy named Jigen, and that guy has the same curse mark as Boruto. Now, obviously, we've seen Kawaki with that same curse mark, and you know, theoretically, if Jigen does take over Kawaki's body, or this Kawaki-looking figure's body, per se, if Jigen keeps Kawaki's look and identity, but obviously he's still like Jigen, the curse mark can eventually spread over that body, and you know, eventually that could possibly be like Jigen and Kawaki, and that could be the meeting of Boruto and Kawaki. See, the thing is, I don't think that Jigen could possibly do the same thing that Orochimaru does. Obviously, he can, but I don't think that he would, in terms of he would take over the body and not have anything from Kawaki to just not any of Kawaki's personalities. For example, when Orochimaru took over that body in part 1 of Naruto, like the person was like completely dead. Like Orochimaru just had his body, but if Jigen's gonna take that body and like keep Kawaki's look, because Jigen looks totally different. He's like bald. If he's gonna keep Kawaki's look, I feel like he could probably keep some of Kawaki's characteristics, and then obviously Kawaki's gonna be conversating with Boruto, like, and obviously we've seen that Boruto does know Kawaki a little bit, so that could possibly be where that's from.
And like, it's really interesting to see, and like with everything he's saying, clearly we do know a lot about Orochimaru. We do know about his true form being a snake, due to the fact that he uses too much of like the sage chakra before even being able to master it, and he turns into the snake. A lot of people don't know that, but hey, that's what he truly is. His true form is him being that giant ass snake. So that kind of makes sense why he jumps from body to body. Essentially we see, you know, this vessel, quote unquote. If the vessel is Kawaki, like, why is Kawaki the vessel? What's so special about Kawaki that makes him a vessel? Now, one thing that we've seen brought up time and time again, which me and Bara discussed a little bit before the video, was the Star of Hope. Obviously, we talk about the Star of Hope time and time again. You guys have seen me make a video about the Star of Destruction, a theory video. Now, essentially, in this video, what I say is I'm talking about how, you know, obviously, if there's a Star of Hope, there's a Star of Destruction would be the thing that Boruto has to defeat as a Star of Hope, because if you guys don't remember when Toneri prophesied about the Star of Hope, even before, like, you know, things escalated to the right that it is, and we knew the name of the Jogan, we did get to see, like, you know, him looking up at 2 stars. He said something about the Star of Hope, talking about 1 star, but clearly when you see 2, it's always foreshadowing about another power that's equal or greater, you know what I'm saying? So clearly, if the Star of Hope is supposed to be the best hope and the most powerful eye, clearly the Star of Destruction is going to be the one that's equal, while the Star of Hope being greater, just enough so that Boruto can defeat it. And time again, we see that, you know, Momoshiki even leaves a message to Boruto talking about, hey, you know, those blue eyes will be the ruin of you. It'll be the destruction of you. And so basically, here, take this little bit of my power left to aid yourself. Because once you defeat a god, you're not going to be referred to as a normal human. You can never live a normal life again. So due to that standing, and like Momoshiki even emphasizing on that, it lets us know that they knew about the Jogan. Yurashiki even mentioned something about Boruto being changed. You know, he even says that Toneri did something. Now, clearly we don't know exactly what he means by that. We don't know, maybe he's just talking about he invoked something in Boruto to make Boruto realize he had this eye, or that he had this power, due to Boruto telling everybody he had the Byakugan. But it was funny because Boruto told people he had the Byakugan Byakugan when he clearly knew his eye looked nothing like the Byakugan, because Boruto eventually got a glimpse of that. So right now, it's one of those things is like, why is Kawaki this vessel? Like, why do you think that Kawaki will be the vessel for like future purposes? Like, what do you feel about Kawaki? You know what I'm saying? Like, let me, like I need insight. Give me your insight, bar.
See, there's a couple of things, and I'll talk about the first thing. I feel like it's pretty much less likely to happen. I feel like Kawaki could possibly be a Jinchuriki. A lot of people have been speculating that the tail beast is basically spread out again. We did see Gata in the last episode. He's the Jinchuriki of Shikaku again, but this person, this Kawaki guy, could possibly be a Jinchuriki of like the seven tails or the six tails, any of those tail beasts, and that could possibly be it. But another thing, the thing that you were talking about, I feel like is very likely, is the fact that he has an eye dojutsu that could possibly rival Boruto's eye dojutsu. If you guys remember, Tonetti basically called Boruto's eye the Star of Hope. And if Boruto's eye is the Star of Hope and not Naruto or not Sasuke's Rinnegan, that means Boruto's eye could possibly potentially be stronger than Naruto, Sasuke, and all of them. So, yeah, so the only way to basically rival that is to have another dojutsu that could actually rival that. And just as, you know, Shino said, it's very possible that it could be another eye. Now, the thing is, a lot of people might say that how come we didn't see Kawaki's eye in the first minute of the first episode back when we seen Boruto versus Kawaki? And the thing is, like the writers, they don't really foreshadow everything accurately. They always change things up. For example, if you guys remember back when Pain's Rinnegan was introduced the first time, it looked completely different. Yeah, it looked completely different. So they have shown characteristics, or they have shown tendencies to change things up later on in the series, and it could possibly just be that Kawaki didn't feel it fit for him to activate his eye dojutsu at the same time Boruto activated his eye dojutsu. They could find so many ways to change that up.
And then it's like when we seen Himawari and Boruto first introduced, clearly we got to see Himawari eventually get the Byakugan. It's something else that we spoke about before making this video. We talked about how she's able to not willingly at this moment in time, but emotionally she can cut it on. You know, when she gets upset, it comes on. But mind you, when she's not upset, it's off. She has eyes like Naruto. So it's something was different where it's like, you know, we see activation in the Byakugan versus we have somebody like Hinata who always has it like activated all the time. Like it's always something that's on. A lot of people like to argue that Sasuke lost his Rinnegan due to him not having it coming back from the Boruto dimension, not the Boruto, the fucking Yurashiki dimension and shit like that. And they always like, oh yeah, Sasuke can't cut his Rinnegan off, but it's like he can. If you guys can remember back to when Madara was fighting, when he was reanimated, he had both the Mangekyo Sharingan in his eyes, but essentially, well, eternal Mangekyo Sharingan in his eyes, but essentially, you know, once he was put under imminent threat, he activated his Rinnegan himself, and you saw his eyes start to depict as the true Rinnegan, you know. So clearly, it's gonna be something that's gonna be able to be cut on and off. And you gotta remember this too: Boruto was originally depicted with the motherfucking Byakugan himself. He was originally drawn with the Byakugan. The fact that they didn't give it to him, was the fact that they wanted to make something else. They wanted to basically push another idea, put something greater. So overall, you know, this is one of those topics where there's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of like discussing, because we can go back and forth over and over again. So like, in terms of like, what do you feel about the Star of Hope? Let us know about that in the comment section below, and we're gonna move on to another topic.
So one thing that's very like controversial about the Boruto series is when will we actually see Kawaki, or when will Boruto meet Kawaki? Now obviously we've seen Kawaki in a poster. It was back when Boruto was a kid. Now obviously that basically means that Boruto and Kawaki are going to meet in the first part of Boruto. A lot of people have been speculating that there's going to be like a Boruto Shippuden, obviously, when Boruto grows up. But looking at that poster, it does make sense that Boruto and Kawaki are going to meet when they're young, or when they're this specific age. So it has to be something soon. Now obviously the manga is making it very possible for Kawaki to be shown very soon. If he is in fact the vessel, that means Kawaki will definitely show up in the mangas very soon. Yeah, very soon. See, the thing is, in terms of the anime and the manga are taking two different turns, and I feel like it's very possible for Kawaki to probably even show up in the Chunin exam. And the thing about that is that Boruto doesn't necessarily have to meet Kawaki in the Chunin exam per se, but he can see Kawaki and he can notice him. And when Boruto does eventually see the vessel in the manga, he'll probably say like, hey, that's the guy from the Chunin exam. They could possibly meet up during that time in the manga.
Right.
So it is very possible that Kawaki does eventually show up in the Chunin exam. I feel like that's pretty much the soonest or the closest time we could possibly see him in the anime. But after that, I feel like if he doesn't show up at the Chunin exam, it would have to be either the time we see the vessel, or it would have to be something very far from that, but it would still have to be when Boruto is that age.
And true, like for me, like I don't really think he would pop up during the Chunin exams. Clearly, the manga and the anime take different routes, but like at this point in time, due to the fact that we haven't seen anything about Kawaki, there was not really any hints, you know, due to like him being like rogue, quote unquote, because when you see Boruto at the time he's fighting Kawaki, we see with the headband slashed out, and we see like where the headband had a slit across his eye, kind of, so it could show where Boruto got that scar, or that could have been like Boruto's like exile, you know what I'm saying? Something at that moment would have been the reason why Boruto had to leave the village. And like to be honest, it could have came from Mitsuki, because if you guys do not know, Mitsuki uses wind style, you know, and so maybe Boruto could have sidestepped it or got grazed by it or some shit and just kind of hit his eye a little bit. Maybe he blocked it, but not fully. But even then, like when we seen Sasuke as a vessel, we always seen him in a container, you know, literally it wasn't a vessel that was just walking away. He was in a fucking container being toted away by Kimimaro, as well as like the rest of the Silent Ninja 4, you know, they was carrying this vessel, this big ass tube on their backs, you know, and now we see this vessel that's quote unquote in this coffin that was being transferred by this airship, and it was basically being guarded by high level ninja tech puppets that just attacked anything that they saw, and they had no like resentment, no remorse. It just was like they were just attacking non-stop. Anything that would come around, if you didn't have like an immense chakra like thing, they just keep attacking and keep attacking and keep attacking and keep attacking. It was due to like the scientist basically Katsuki being with Boruto and them like that, and he having this fucking tech that can absorb jutsu, which, you know, they essentially just kept attacking, and he made them overload. Like if you ain't got that, man, how can you dodge all this? I mean, obviously if you faster than Naruto and shit, and you could just dismantle them bitches like to like the most like highest point, then yeah. But for that, you know, obviously we see Boruto and we see him being in this situation with this vessel, and the vessel is apparently outside of the box, and the fact that it's like, you know, clearly the Kara doesn't have this vessel. They don't have anything, like no information on where the vessel is. The only other person that has information on the vessel is Konohamaru, due to the fact that he used this flash drive in the Naruto world, which is still odd as fuck to me. The vessel has to be moving. The vessel has to be walking. It has to be up. It has to be roaming. So maybe this is about to be like that Mitsuki moment when he first wakes up, you know what I'm saying, and he's completely lost, you know, and then essentially that Orochimaru is like, oh well, you know, this is what happened to you. You have to go here. But essentially, you know, we have Kawaki who has nobody to tell him anything. Kawaki's just getting up and he's just like, where am I? Who am I? You know what I'm saying? My name. And he might only remember his name, and due to the fact that Boruto may very well escape the clutches of Kashin Koji, he may run into this vessel on the outskirts of the village, heading back to the village, or at some point or another in the village, due to Naruto bringing it back. And it's like, oh well, we found this wandering kid and he has no recollection of who he is, and he might be raised under the Leaf Village for a long time until the Kara understand that he is in the village, and then they send over the outer Kara or even members of the inner Kara to the fucking Leaf Village, essentially trying to get this vessel back, trying to reacquire the power that they lost. So right now it's one of those clusterfucks that we don't know when he's going to befriend them, or we don't know what's going to happen, how he's going to befriend them. But honestly, I do believe in the coming chapters that this missing vessel will be Kawaki. I think this will be the introduction of Kawaki. Clearly Bara feel as though, you know, it may happen a little sooner, or he may feel like it's a little later. That's the kind of the whole point of these videos, is to have double insight. It's not to just have what I have to say or just have to have what he has to say. It's kind of the powwow, because then you guys can decide in the comment section on what do you want to happen, or what do you think is going to happen, because right now none of us know. You know, this is just literally us speculating. It's all like speculation, theory, you know, it's just talking, you know what I'm saying? So like, we're gonna move on to the next topic, but in the close for this whole one, I do feel like it's gonna be him popping up very soon due to the vessel being missing, because like, why else would this bitch be walking away, and why would they emphasize on this vessel that's so much like greater, you know what I'm saying, Bar?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I really think that that'll be like a very interesting arc. Obviously, the Kata invading the Konoha, looking for Kawaki, and that could also, you know, that can make sense because Boruto does know Kawaki. If Boruto finds Kawaki, they'll obviously have a friendship, and that would obviously make sense of how Boruto was talking to Kawaki when they didn't meet up in the first minute of the first episode.
Yeah, and on top of that, with the closing of this topic, because we could drag this on forever, but I remember saying like maybe Kashin Koji was gonna ask Boruto to join the Kara, and essentially maybe Kawaki starts getting these memories back about the Kara and talking about how strong he became due to going with the Kara. And you guys, mind you, Boruto has been on a lust for power this whole entire time since we've known him. All he ever wanted was to get stronger. You know, even in the new arcs, in the new version of like the manga, you still see Boruto wanting to get stronger. That has never went away, and he still wants to prove himself. And maybe Kawaki is gonna be somebody that's under him, be like, well, you can prove to your dad by leaving, or even finding out the truth about Sasuke. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna push him to leave and go with his friend in order to achieve and ascertain this power. So there's a lot of different revenues. We didn't talk about this topic for like 7 minutes. We gotta move on to the next one. So the last and final topic is like, so clearly we're gonna see Boruto essentially get involved with the Kara at some point. Like I said in like the previous topic, I think Kashin Koji is gonna ask Boruto to join the Kara due to him having the mark on his hand, which is something that we've seen from a lot of other Kara members, or like just inner members. You know, some of them have, one of them have it on his chin, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was Jigen.
Yeah, Jigen has it on his chin, right? And I'm like, yo, that's what I'm saying. Like, this, like, damn, he let a nigga touch his face. That shit weird. But like, even still, like, you know, we see all these other members with it, and clearly, you know, maybe these were potential vessels. Maybe they were potential vessels that, you know, Jigen saw fit, but they weren't exactly what he needed. And due to the fact that Boruto has the Jogan, which is still unclear to many, a lot of people don't know about it. Only a few people know about it, because mind you, they know about the seal that Boruto have on his hand. They don't know about his eye. Naruto doesn't know about Boruto's eye. Sasuke doesn't know about Boruto's eye. The only one that really knows about this eye in terms of like just being aware and being around is Samiride and Mitsuki. Clearly he has brought it up to Shikadai, but you know, they still have yet to see it. Sarada doesn't have it clear about it either. So you know, you do see, obviously we do see fucking Naruto say something about his mark, but what about his eye? Now, due to the fact that Kawaki may or may not be the vessel, let's just say he is the vessel for the sake of the video, you know, what if Boruto comes into the picture and then all of a sudden they see Boruto as a better vessel due to the fact that he has Uzumaki lineage, alright, high vitality, meaning his body can sustain a lot due to it having high chakra reserves, aka him holding a tail beast or even holding another person, him being the vessel. 2, that he has Hagoromo's chakra. On top of that, his daddy is the reincarnation of Ashura. You know, he's the direct descendant of Hagoromo, plus getting power from Hagoromo. Not to mention his mother is of Byakugan lineage and direct descendant of Hamura, on top of getting Hamura's chakra and fusing it with his dad's chakra, plus the Nine Tails chakra to make the ultimate genetic mutated super clusterfuck baby child of God. Like essentially, Boruto is OD as shit. And now that they might see, go ahead.
One thing that you didn't really mention is no one really knows if Kawaki himself has a curse mark. For example, if Jigen does take Boruto's body and Boruto already has a curse mark, that'll basically be 2 different curse marks or 2 different seals that Jigen has to dispose. Like, Jigen would have to be crazy to think that Kawaki would be a better vessel than Boruto if Boruto has all of these other like positives about him.
That's what I'm saying. And then on top of that, like, not to like scratch that, we always say curse mark, but one thing has been noted in the manga that is not a curse mark. It is like a seal. It's like the sun and the heaven seal, kind of essentially like the Naruto and Sasuke shit, the sun and the moon. We always say curse mark because it's comfortable, but we do know it's a seal. And it's like, when he has all these fucking power-ups, right? He has all this background, you know what I'm saying? Why not try to go for him, you know? Like, would he make a better fit for the vessel instead of Kawaki? Because, like I said, the Jogan is something that we seen the Utsukis talk about. You know, obviously we know there's some connection between the Kara and the Utsukis due to Jigen saying something about that damn Momoshiki. You know what I'm saying? Obviously he knows Momoshiki to some degree, or maybe he was hunting Momoshiki as like game to get more seals, because they know once you defeat a god, you cannot be a normal person. So what if this group of people has been hunting the members of the Utsukis, and that's the main reason why the main branch of the Utsukis forsaken the rest of the other Utsukis, because they didn't want to get involved or they didn't want to get killed. And maybe they're at the point now where they completely just fed up and they ready just to go after niggas. They're like, you know what, you guys have been hunting our people for power, now it's time to destroy y'all, because clearly they seen you know, Naruto and Sasuke get they seal because that was brought up by Yorishiki to Toneri, that they've been watching them for years and years. So they saw everything that took place with Kaguya. They saw everything that took place with Madara wanting to steal a tree of life. They saw how greedy humans were with the power.
See, here's the thing. I don't think that they all know that they fought Kaguya.
Well,
I feel like
I think they are aware of the Kaguya fight, but it goes back into speculation because it's like we said earlier. Kaguya is not dead; she's sealed. So
yeah, she's sealed.
Even though she's sealed, her chakra presence is still there. So they just probably sensing her power and her presence. Yeah. And that's why they came and they said, "Where's Kaguya?" You know, and when they sealed Kaguya, they didn't seal Kaguya in a normal dimension. They sealed Kaguya in her dimension because you remember she was jumping, she was going, she was like, "We're gonna be here, bitch. We're gonna fight here, bitch. We're gonna fight here, bitch." And you know, the last place that we saw her fight is where she's supposed to reside, where she remained, and then she got sealed, and then they went back, you know, using the power of Sasuke's Rinnegan. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you know, I think that's why they still think she's still around.
Yeah, definitely, because I know a lot of people probably be commenting like, "Hey, they kind of thought that Kaguya was still around back when Momo say like, hey, where's Kaguya?" But the thing is, like, they're probably sensory ninja, obviously, so they could probably sense Kaguya's chakra, you know? Right. They basically have everything, so I'm pretty sure they could sense Kaguya's chakra, and since she's not dead, they obviously still sense her chakra.
And two, it could be due to the fact that the Tree of Life is Kaguya's chakra, because if you guys remember back when Kaguya was alive, and when she came back, well, I said alive, before she was unsealed, she mistook Naruto and Sasuke for her son Hagoromo and Hamura. Mind you, there was reincarnations of Hagoromo and Hamura's children. I'm well, not Hagoromo's children. I don't know why I said fucking Hamura, but still, like, you know what I'm saying? She sensed that chakra in them, and that could be due to the fact that, you know, that Sasuke is direct descendant under the Indra, Naruto direct descendant of the Ashura, but mind you, the Indra is connected to the fucking Byakugan, which is the Hyuga, so like that may be like maybe a half where she sensed the Hamura from, because you remember she thought they were her kids, but they weren't, and then they was just like, "You're not my kids." And mind you, she was already sealed by the time they had grandkids. You know what I'm saying? By the time Hagoromo had his 2 children, they were gone. She was gone. You know, she didn't know about them. She just went off of the chakra. She didn't go off of her eyesight. She just felt the chakra. She was blind and she just sensed the chakra. So maybe they just sensing the chakra that's remaining in Naruto, Killer Bee, because obviously Killer Bee was attacked, and then they talk about the fruit of the Tree of Life, which is the Jinchuriki. You know what I'm saying? That the 10 tails or the 9 beasts, those are 9 different fruits that have been scattered. So I'm not sure. Overall, this is probably going to be one of the most interesting things that we're going to see transpire. Like, how do you feel about Boruto potentially becoming a vessel for them in the future? What do you think is going to happen? Like, obviously, me and Bara, we just all over the place. We like shit. But,
all right, so it's like a couple of things. You know, we were talking about how Kawaki might end up being like a better vessel for Jigen than, I mean, how Boruto might be a better vessel for Jigen than Kawaki. But the thing is, like, if Kawaki and Boruto are supposed to be rivals, Boruto really can't be that broken in comparison to Kawaki. Like, Kawaki does have to somehow match up to Boruto. And it can't just be from the idojutsu that we think that Kawaki may have. Maybe he does also have some hacks abilities that Boruto doesn't have.
And it could go back into the synthetic human shit that we hear time and time again. You know, we hear like people talking about how he may be like a creation of Sasuke cells with Naruto cells. Or it could go even further than that, you know what I'm saying? And like one thing is for certain, there may or may not come a point where there may be a jealousy thing between Kawaki and Boruto, where they tell Kawaki, "Oh yeah, I think Boruto's a better fit than you, and you know he should be the one. He deserves to be our vessel." And Kawaki might try to prove himself to the Kara, hence him going after the Leaf Village, and you seen the whole entire Leaf Village destroyed. So
see, a couple of things. I feel like. The first thing, I know a lot of people have been saying that Kawaki could possibly be a synthetic human being. I just don't believe that. I think that's way too far. It's like the weird category for Naruto. Yeah. I know that Boruto itself been going into the weird category with the ninja technologies, all that other stuff. I feel like Kawaki being some cells from Naruto and some cells from Sasuke, I feel like that's too far. But another thing is, I feel like Boruto probably wouldn't want to willingly go to Jigen and probably be his vessel. I do know that Boruto doesn't relatively like Naruto, and he does want to prove to Naruto that he has some power and that he's not just some little kid.
Yup.
Yeah, but the thing is, Boruto deep down, he really does like Naruto, and I feel like we've seen that. If you guys didn't watch the movie, I'm about to talk about the movie, but in the movie, Boruto basically, like, he was acting like a little kid that knows he's about to get ice cream when Naruto came in his room and said, I'm proud of you for passing the second round of the Chunin exam. Like, Boruto deep down, he really loves Naruto, so I don't think that Naruto or Boruto would go rogue because he doesn't like Naruto. I feel like if Boruto does end up going rogue, it's going to be for the good of the Konoha and probably to get more power to probably eventually save the Konoha.
Yep, and that's what comes in with him basically fighting against Kawaki, essentially trying to stop him from doing whatever he's doing, and hence Kawaki saying, I'm going to send you where we sent the seventh. And clearly, for him to know that Naruto is referred to as the seventh Hokage, I feel as though there's going to be something that connects them together. And one thing I would like to say from the manga, if you guys remember Boruto taking on the Lord of Fire's, is the Daimo's kid, essentially, they dressed exactly like Kawaki, you know what I'm saying? I feel as though there's some backwards dealings in that, and a lot of people forgot about that. A lot of people forget to mention that, but, you know, obviously Boruto had to save this kid, and mind you, the person that wanted to kidnap this kid knew about the Kara. He knew about that organization already, on top of him working under the Lord for so long, you know what I'm saying? He was pretending to be the butler and shit like that. And mind you, Kawaki's drapes, you know, this man's sauce, and he dressed just like them. So overall, it's been a really like good video. Shit, we discussed so many different things, and we're going into like 30-minute marks. Honestly, we never intended for these videos to go this way, but shit, we just talk about a whole bunch of shit.
I could talk about Boruto for like hours.
Me too, dog. Me too. But, you know, let us know your personal thoughts and personal opinions on everything we said. If you guys have anything you guys would like to share about like this topic, make sure you leave those in the comment section below. Like I said, check out the boy Bara, the Blood Kage up in the bitch. His channel links in the description below. Anything you gotta say, my boy?
Nothing really. My link will be in the description below. If you guys like me, you guys could sub to me. But honestly, Shino is like the GOAT of the anime community. Okay, so this guy is right here.
Can we not with this? He's making me blush like a little bitch. Anyways, stay true and stay real. I hope you guys have a blessed day. And until next time, see you guys later. Boise! Nigga, you ain't shit.